see them because of LA and San Francisco being in the big markets. Arizona is sneaking.
Yes.
You saw that.
David Stewart has done a really good job with Tony La Russa forming an organization. Their farm team is now top 10. Dodgers are, by the way, still top 10. And that's the thing. The Dodgers are able to still, with all the big free agent talk and everything, they're doing things a little smarter, a little wiser. They're kind of relatively quiet offseason. They're building within. Dodgers, Diamondbacks, Giants. The Rockies are still ways to go, but they have a top 10 prospect system. Of course, it doesn't mean anything. We look at what happened a few years ago. Padres were 2012 top prospects.
It's an even year. It's a Giants year.
Yeah,
It is. Yeah, it's a Giants.
Who do you like out west?
Giants.
Giants.
I think the Dodgers are just a team that they're pretty, but they can't make it. It's too long of a season. They always find a way to implode.
The manager too.
And the Padres, with these deals they've got, with Kemp and these guys, just dead money. You talk about a team of dead money. They got like $37 million and just two bad players.
What did GM do?
He wanted to. It was that 1 year. He wanted to take the shot for 1 year, and they took it. And they lose 88 games, and now they just gutted the farm system. Sound familiar, Tigers fans?
Yeah, right.
I mean, really, I still the best story in the National League to me is the Cubs. Because it doesn't. Baseball, the best thing that can happen to baseball is the Cubs doing what we expect them to do. If they win 100 games, it's national news. Nobody cares about any other team. Think about it. If the Dodgers win, I don't care. They've done it. If the Giants win, I don't care. They've done it. If the Nationals win, Bryce Harper's a tool. I don't like that team. Right?
Or the Cardinals.
Or the Cardinals. They've done it.
Yeah.
They've kind of won. But if the Cubs win,
$500
if the Cubs win 100 games, if they get on that kind of tear, baseball becomes huge again.
Yeah.
Huge again.
Wrigleyville.
Here's the issue with the Cubs, though. Jake Arrieta, is he going to have another breakout year? Because he had a massive year last year, and he never done it before. So
Who they pick up? Lester?
Yeah,
they got Lester.
Lester's been there. They picked up that center fielder.
Yeah.
Lackey's a huge sign.
And then getting Dexter Fowler back was huge.
But Arrieta's never pitched like he pitched last year, so he has to duplicate that. Otherwise, he'll never touch 100 games again.
Well, if Arizona doesn't win the West, like you said, I don't know what the hell is going on there. I mean, I think that team is ready to pounce.
Yeah.
I mean, you got AJ Pop, you got Paul. That's Goldie.
Yeah.
Paul Goldschmidt.
Yeah.
You got AJ Pollock in the outfield. David Peralta in the outfield. I think they just got rid of Endar Inciarte or Inciarte. Endar Inciarte. Sorry, it's a hard name to say. He's a really good. He was their leadoff hitter last year. But my whole point is that if you get rid of your leadoff hitter and bring in. My whole point is that they upgraded the leadoff hitter. So they're set. It's a solid team, Arizona. Watch out in the NL for Arizona this year. I really think they have a chance. And they, plus they got Greinke. Picked up Greinke in the offseason. Arizona.
What is the? I kept reading about Lincecum possibly coming to the Tigers.
Well, he's getting looked at right now. They're just doing like showcase to see what he has left. But his fastball is down to 88, 89.
Well, he was always coming out of the pen anyway. You don't think so? I would
Is he a
love
lefty?
to
If he was a lefty, we would Nate Robertson inside him in a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Right now,
Montreal going down.
he came back with his father, and so him and his father are kind of reconciled, and hopefully it helps the Cubs.
Your point.
The Cubs.
You know, I want to piggyback though on
Cubs.
I want to piggyback on Jim's point though. I feel you with the Cubs, dude. The Cubs are what's good for baseball.
Yeah.
And being a Tigers fan, I salivate at the notion of a possible Tigers-Cubs World Series, which not to sound rude, I kind of wanted in '84.
Hey, man.
I mean, I was only 5 years old, but I've always had a soft spot for Cubs, dude. I love Wrigley.
Aren't they the biggest story? Is there any other organization to win? I know as we're here in Detroit with the Lions, it would be a big deal, but not nationally. The Cubs win a World Series. That's the headline in national news.
Oh.
That is like
The world will blow
up.
The world will blow up.
They're the Forbes. They're yesterday's Forbes magazine.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, and that's a great
How about Indians play the Cubs in the World Series and Lions play the
Oh my
Browns
God.
in the
Oh,
same year.
Snapchat.
I call that a Homer special right there.
Dude, the world will turn upside down. Antarctica will become the South.
Here's why.
Jim's thinking about that one.
I am. That'd be wild.
Lions Browns. That's gonna
Be
happen.
beyond
I'm
wild.
telling you, that's gonna be who we
Yeah,
play when we
yeah.
finally make the Super Bowl. To me, Lions Browns.
Oh,
Roger and Cleveland.
Hey, the
Don't get them
Lions
on
aren't
high.
that. Watch this. The Lions aren't that far off.
Ah!
Hey, when I
I
asked,
forgot. You're like,
Every guy who's called in any radio station in town.
When I asked Tom Lyon who's going to win the World Series first, Tigers or the Red Sox, he said Red Sox without a doubt. He thought the Tigers were far away.
Here's the thing about the Cubs too that we tend to forget about too as well. They also have a deep farm system. That's a team that can be reloaded at will. I mean, they have a couple guys who are in the top 100 prospects across the league, and so
Think about their GM too.
Yeah,
Theo.
he's building a team that he
He
won.
built the Red Sox and never won. Now he's going to get the Cubs probably to win. Bring him to the Lions.
Well,
Yeah, he won a World Series with them in 04.
No, I
He
said
won the Bears.
I said he won a World Series for a team that never won.
Oh,
I'm
I see.
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Right, yeah.
And now the Cubs bring him to the Lions after.
Well, that's why I think about the Browns. Just is it you're talking about baseball with who's the Moneyball guy, the analytics
Oh,
guy
yeah.
that went to
Bean,
Billy
Billy
Bean.
Bean.
Yeah.
But no, not Bean, but the other guy, the assistant,
Oh.
the guy that was played by Jonah Hill.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
with the Cleveland Browns,
Yep.
and he's doing analytics about money, about who they buy, and everyone's going, "Oh, it's a joke. He was a baseball guy." Well, look at how we treat athletes now in pro football. Running backs are mean, right?
Right.
When's the next time you're going to see a fat head of a running back, a kid on a kid's wall? It's going to be a while. Nobody cares. I mean, they're just
They're a
turning them
dime a
over.
dozen, yep.
Isn't that kind of like how baseball was with analytics, where you're turning players over, bringing them up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe they're actually. I hate to say this. Maybe the Browns are actually onto something, and you're going to start treating players like that, where you're turning them over quicker and quicker. Wide receivers like Calvin, 9 years in the league, and you're destroyed. You said it before, Raj. Maybe they're actually onto something, that you're just going to have a deeper roster. You may not have as much talent at the high end, but you got a deeper roster than the other guys, and you just wear their ass out.
We're going to take a really quick break. We'll be right back. You're listening to Freddy's Pizza Cave here on SportsGridDetroit.com. Really quick break. We'll be right back.
And the
Story
funny,
video.
and the funny thing is, when the Red Sox, when they won the World Series in 2004, after so many years, the winning pitcher was the kid from Dearborn,
Yeah,
Derek
Derek Lowe.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dearborn,
Alright,
Michigan.
guys. We're going to go.
That's Ford's finest.
Let's go another like 10 minutes.
Did they? The Tigers tried to get low, didn't they?
Yes,
Probably,
towards the
yeah.
end of the
Yeah,
they
they
did.
did.
Yeah. All right, we're back here,
JJ
back live
Wilson.
here in Pizza Cave here on
That's right.
live in Melville, guys. Continuing our Cubs conversation. The other part of I think why the Cubs might win the World Series too, and something that you brought up, Jim. They're okay. So they got Blackie, they got Hayward. They also got a guy who was a kind of left out with the Royals last year, but championship, Ben Zobrist. Zobrist was a key part of that. And a guy too who, I mean, if you guys follow baseball quite a bit, a Yankee starter, and Adam Warren. Adam Warren gives them some depth that they don't have. And he gives them some more. That Cubs team's gonna be sick.
Don't the Cubs have to win? Like, to me, Joe Mann's a really good manager, but I think he's so overrated. The guy's never won anything, and he gets praised as the best manager in baseball. But you know what? It's time he wins. You know, if they always talk about the next golfer, the next best golfer didn't win a major, he's the next best manager didn't win a World Series.
Yeah, good point.
You know, it's time for him to win because he takes them, but you take him to dance, but you got to dance, man.
Well, and they've got Henry Rowan-Gardner. I mean, that kid's 12, but with a broken arm, the way he pitches for the Cubs. I'm the only one to watch Rookie of the Year. Come on.
I know, I've seen that. I've seen it 100 times.
I never saw
Also,
it.
there's one little wild card for the Cubs that will affect, unfortunately, one of your team, the Padres. Look for the Cubs somewhere during the regular season, obviously before the trade deadline, to make a push for Will Myers out of San Diego, to bring him over.
That's fine.
I know, I hear you, but
You
you know,
can have
I think you guys.
You can have him.
I think this is the reason why Dexter Fowler
Kansas
was
Bay,
a little
right?
nervous to re-sign with the Cubs. I think Dexter Fowler is going to be in that deal, and I think that's what he was fearing. That's just my guess, my opinion. I think one of the things that he was fearing about re-signing with the Cubs is being dealt to a team he didn't want to go to. I think Fowler will be dealt for Will Myers. I think Will Myers is going to be coming over to the
Kansas
Cubs.
City traded Will Myers to Tampa Bay for
I'm telling you.
that pitcher, the right-handed pitcher.
I'm telling you.
He's in San Diego now.
Yeah, what did Baltimore say to Dexter Fowler? I mean, like when
Oh,
you're
yeah,
a
exactly.
girl
Yeah.
and she leaves, and you're like, what did I do?
Yeah.
I thought we were doing something here. What's going on?
We talked about that earlier this week. It's that whole situation was strange, and you know, his agent went out and blasted the Orioles for the way they handled everything, saying, and he even blamed ESPN for announcing the signing before it even happened, saying that Fowler had no interest in Baltimore when there's smoke for setting fire. So it's a little bit of both, but you know. By the way, Jim, I want to address your Bryce Harper's total comment. Thank you. There's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys on my staff. You know, we have a guy, Tim, who I do a show with that loves Bryce Harper. He worth off $400 million.
No way.
But guys,
No way.
it doesn't. Jim, you know, you watch baseball, and watched it for a long time. You've seen the escalation of salaries.
Saying a hole, right? Okay. No, go ahead.
A little backhanded.
Or how was it? Yeah, you know,
Sorry.
He's so overhyped.
it's such a different game now that they use
Yeah.
gloves.
Well, no, like,
No, go ahead.
well, this applies
Grass,
to.
it's
Yeah.
already the dirty
Hey, I say that about
Electric
wide.
scoreboards.
I say that
I've still
about
got
wide
the tie-
receivers in football,
Right, I still got
man.
that Ty Cobb scar on my thigh.
Let me see Calvin Johnson catch like Steve Largent did. You see Steve Largent play.
Yeah, but,
that double-A fat head on my wall as a kid growing up.
Yeah, there's so.
This was
Good old Abner.
Oh, no, Abner was
No, Abner,
much
man.
better.
No,
much better.
Host Landers.
Good old AD.
The escalating of scout salaries is basically what I'm trying to imply. You've seen this firsthand. Now $400 million. How are they going to pay these guys?
What's the guy from the Angels gonna get?
Trout?
Trout.
Oh, he'll go bigger than that.
Yeah.
Won't he? I mean, you would think so.
Trout's going to be the highest paid player in baseball.
And he should be, but I don't know if it's that much money. I don't. Isn't this just like cartoon? This is like Monopoly
It
money.
is Monopoly money.
It doesn't. It's not real anymore.
No.
I mean, you're watching these games and it's like he gets $86 million a year or whatever. I'm like, I can't even.
Fathom.
I can't even. Yeah, you're right. I can't even fathom that. So, you know, Bryce Harper, when the whole leadership thing, when he said that, that was the thing that, even if you think that, we talk about a lot, like, don't say it. Don't say that.
Yeah.
But hopefully you're smart enough, and he's been here how many years now? 4 years?
Yeah.
3 or 4 years up? He should know better by now. You know you're going to get your ass ripped the second you said it, and he said it anyway. So it's like, just don't say it. I mean, just go like, are you a leader? I don't know. That's all you got to do. I don't know. That's it. But he couldn't help himself, which maybe gives you a little bit about his character. Mike Trout is the leader of the Angels, and there is no doubt that he runs that team. Even with Pujols on there, it's still Mike Trout's team.
Don't you feel bad for the Angels? They just do not know how to build around him.
Nope.
They keep providing him.
Their owner Montero just wants money.
But it's horrible. They keep providing him with players on walkers and canes. It's just like, can you get any sort of young talent around Trout, please?
They have the second worst farm system.
Oh my God, isn't it horrible? I mean, that's a team that should be making a push for Will Myers. Can you imagine Will Myers and Trout together?
Will Myers overrated though. He's
No
overhyped.
way.
If he's hitting a little bit of San Diego, he's hitting with no pressure. You got to put him in a lineup where they're
He
in
did
first
just
place.
fine in Tampa Bay before he got hurt. So trust me, he's going back. He'll be
He
in
hits without
Chicago
gloves,
before the
right?
season's over.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he hits without
Is that right,
gloves.
Raj? He was back in the day?
Yeah, back in the day.
It's without gloves.
Yeah. It's I'm making a lot of good shows.
I say that all about wide receivers, Jim. I swear, I watch Steve Largent catch balls without gloves. And you watch these guys nowadays make these great catches. They make a big deal about it. These wide receivers. I mean, these guys didn't wear gloves back in the 70s and 80s, man. You know.
I just saw some Harold Snep's video on Fox Sports Detroit last week. You know, we're talking about, back when hockey players didn't have helmets. And now everybody's like worried about having the right face mask and the right
The guy from Edmonton.
Did Herman Moore wear gloves?
Herman Moore, yes, he did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
I can't remember.
At the end, yeah, for
I can't
sure.
remember.
He's a
the
better
last.
wide
You gotta
receiver.
remember though,
than
Corey
Kevin
Roger, I'm
Johnson.
really old, so I can't remember these things.
I think he was one of the first ones to have the big paw gloves. Those big wide gloves.
Oh,
I think he
the
was
big
one of
beats.
the first ones. I think he was one of
Those
the first
soccer
ones.
goalie gloves.
I think he
look
was
like
one of the
Mickey
first
Mouse
ones.
extra or something.
Yeah.
Before the last few minutes, Jim, what do you have going on Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle? I want to talk about that because I thought that was really cool, and I think that's very innovative as well because it's, outside of the comedians coming on the radio station, when they come by and they come into town, you don't get a chance to really, unless you get to see them, go down there and get a chance to see them. So many people, they come in on Thursday, people work. But what you're doing right now, I think is a really cool opportunity to talk about them.
It's coming soon. I don't think people realize Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle in Royal Oak.
Huge.
It's huge, but I mean, you go back and look at the people who started there. Not just like came through. I mean, Tim Allen, Coulier. That's where Coulier got all his comedy stuff. You can go just a list of people. Lewis Black. I mean, Kathleen Madigan, the only comedy club show she does in the country is here because of Ridley. That's it. Lewis Black doesn't need to do a comedy club. He does Ridley's. Tim Allen did like a time there last year because he wanted. Remember, he did like a $5 show just to get his chops. Now he's playing at Caesars again. I'm sure he's getting a couple dollars for that. So we're going to do once a week. We'll have a podcast. If you just look it up as Comedy at the Castle, we'll sit on stage with whoever the headliner is for that week and do the same kind of idea that you guys are doing here. We're going to record it live. We'll stream it on Facebook video as well, and then everybody from Tom Arnold's coming to town. I mean, so it's just a chance to talk with these and maybe learn some names of some of the new upcoming comedians because they all worship Mark Ridley and they they dig it. So it'll be fun. We'll have that going hopefully next week. But in the next couple of weeks, you'll see it. And you can just, if you go on iTunes, you type in Comedy at the Castle, and you'll see it. So
you remember when Tom Margo married that girl from Allen Park?